So, we have a concept of God bless the child who has its own. And this is something specific to quote unquote black people. Race is a social construct, but for this video, I will use the term black people. And it's important that we understand that race is a social construct because there was a time when if you believe in Abraham, if you believe in Noah, when you talk about race and make it seem like if race is real, it makes you sound dumb. Anyway, black people have been fed a lie, and it's to keep us back in life where we have white people, Spanish people, anybody else. We also have, especially Indians and Chinese people, sticking together as a family and helping each other no matter what. Unfortunately, they do so in such a way that it even looks racist. But they're taking care of their family, and that's a beautiful thing. But when it comes to black people, we say, God bless the child who has his own. Even when a child is a teenager, we are already glad to have him out of the house, have them hustling, hoping that they will make their own money and we will not have to support them. And this is a real serious problem. And as the economy gets worse, it's going to manifest that things are going to be harder for black people than they are for any other race. And this is something that's going to affect us as far as everything, even things like suicide rates. Because if you feel that you cannot ask for help, if you feel that no one is going to help you, or that people are only going to help you to the extent that is comfortable for them, or that you have to owe all the time, which is a concept that the world has created where literally everybody is born with a cost of living and born owing basically for being here, for being created and put here. And everybody thinks the financial system works, but really and truly the financial system is a big part of the problem. But what does it breed? So the results of it show that it does not work, that it lacks love, and that it is not sustainable. All the governments in the world borrow money, but yet they tell you that you have to make enough money to live. They haven't got it done. They haven't been able to sustain themselves, but they want you to sustain yourself. And my point, though, is that when people have a sense of family, when they're looking at sustenance and being able to make it, then everybody can survive. Because at the end of the day, if you keep building up your house, the other people as well have to come and build up the house as well. But this is just not the case. The case is that people don't want you to ask for help, and then they say, oh, he commits suicide, oh, why he didn't talk to me. He didn't talk to you because he didn't feel he could ask you for nothing. And this is a fact. If you know the truth about people in Barbados, especially people in the Caribbean, we have this thing where you will help anybody except when it comes to money. Okay, so then you wouldn't help them if you have to put yourself in any sort of discomfort to do so. And that lets people know your value to them. All right, so done with that. So something that I also realized about this whole topic is the millennials and where we fall in line. I don't remember everybody's group name. I'm not into remembering that. I'm into the concept of what I'm talking about. So let me use ages. So I would say the 60 plus people versus the 40 and 35 to 45 people. Okay, so they would be our parents. So they come up with this God bless the child who has its own concept. So then we come up like, life was so hard for me, I don't want this for my children. And they understand that. Anything you say you want for your child, they can understand that. But as far as you being their child and them going the extra mile for you, not going to happen in black culture. It does not happen as regularly as it should. But then no, if when the Arab people do it or somebody else, they understand that completely. When a man say, look, I gotta do everything for my son and blah 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 blah, they're always the main person out there. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? They expect the other races to do it, but for themselves they have this great block when it comes to money. And it could be from not having money, from slavery, whatever, but the point is it's a systematic type of oppression because you do not build up your own, so therefore you're alone. Unity is strength. When the Tower of Babel was being built, God said that he had to distort the languages, because if he didn't, anything would be possible for them. Unity is strength. But when you have all of these keepbacks, when you're only willing to give to an extent but never do your best, the people who you supposedly love know that about you. They know that, yeah, you will never do your best for me though. And so they know that their value to you is not that you're not invaluable to them. And it's important for people to feel invaluable, but people like to put value on people, and this causes so much problems in relationships. It causes a lot of game playing and a lot of issues. Then now, as I said, so now we have the generation under us now. And it's so funny because the generation under us, maybe it's because of our generation trying to do for our children and trying to understand and figure out why we're so broken. The generation under us now, hear this, is so entitled, ungrateful, feel that everybody owe them. When it's their turn to do something for somebody, it's always a problem, but they're looking at you and looking at your pocket and expect that you should be able to give them this and give them the next and the third. And this is a hot mess because this is something that has been done systematically. So someone in their 60s can have children from both generations, both my generation and then the one under me. And you get two completely different children. The oldest child, which is a child that is willing to work and do for themselves, and then the youngest child who expect that everything is supposed to be handed to them. And at the end of the day, the truth is, the person that deserves the most help a lot of the time is the person who's not begging for handouts. And the person who's begging for handouts may need to be more grateful. And this is something that we need to think about, because at the end of the day, when we are talking about building up our family and even being able to survive the times that are ahead of us, knowing that the whole system is set to be reset and collapse and all of that there, what is it? Because we've been in survival mode since COVID, right? So it's time for us to really think about these things and think about the impact of these things. I've heard too many people in their 20s say things or act in ways that are extremely entitled. And it's like, well, he could do this for me, or this person's a thing, or you should give me this almost. But when it's their turn to give back, it's always, oh, I'm broke, oh, I this and oh, I that. And you might actually be broke because of the times we're living in. But time is money, and the amount that we're willing to invest in others says a lot about us and says a lot to them about how we feel about them. And if you make people feel undervalued, if you make people feel that their use to you is what you can give, or if you as an older person act as though, well, I'm on my own, so I gotta save all my coppers because when I get old, I know who can take care of me and blah blah. Well, then you won't know who will take care of you when you get old, because that'll be a person you're paying. They'll milk your money dry, and they won't care if you don't like what you're eating, or if you can't get to the bathroom in time, or if you have a rash. They won't care, and that's what you will pay for, right? Because you didn't invest in your family. Think about these things.